Down for the fourth MOC Grand Prix has begun, and the competition will start this Friday and it will end on Saturday, the 1st of June. Pretty much highlighting another historic year for Nigeria in terms of athletics. So we'll see participation of athletes from Europe, Asia, entries pouring in from all over the world. We hear that athletes from as many as 10 different countries will be in Lagos, hoping to pick up Olympic qualifying tickets as well. Of course, don't forget that the Nigerian Olympic trials will also be holding in June as well. It will hold from the 16th to the 18th of June, and the African Championships will also be holding in Cameroon from the 21st to the 26th of June as well. So we have athletes from everywhere. Wale, we're talking Africa, we're talking Asia, we're talking Europe. 10 countries will be in Lagos in a bid to qualify for the Olympics. A lot of athletes still haven't met the Olympic qualifying standard, and they're hoping that they can do this here in Lagos. And it will all be going down at the Yaba College of Technology's track. And one, our good friend, our good friend Deji Ogengo joins us all the way from Atlanta in the United States of America. Deji, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see you when we're talking athletics. And the fourth MOC Grand Prix, it's about to take place this Saturday, of course, this Friday and Saturday. First and foremost, let's start with why Yaba Tech? I'm thinking there are multiple stadiums across Nigeria, but why Yaba Tech?
Good evening, Tunde. Good evening, Wale. Yeah, I mean, pretty much excited. Starts tomorrow in Yaba Tech, and first of all, it's known to be a very fast track. That's always been a very much of a priority, right? Recall in 2021 when we hosted the third MOC Grand Prix, that was where we had Ferdinand Omayala break the national record of Kenya. That was even before he came into the limelight and went to the Tokyo Games. We had Grayson Wokocha also setting the personal best and also qualifying for the Olympics at that same ground, which was what mitigated the AFN and the Ministry of Sports to host the national trials in Yaba Tech after seeing how fast the track was too. Then obviously the whole logistics of international athletes traveling to Lagos, it's much more easier and seamless for them. We are thought in that time frame they would have put the Teslim Balogun Stadium in order and perhaps laid a proper track, but I mean that's still in the works so far. But just judging by the antecedent, Yaba Tech has always given us very fast times, and it might not offer the most conducive of environments compared to what we have at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium or perhaps in Benin, where the national trials will take place a couple of weeks from now. But it still gives us that advantage to potentially see that athletes can qualify for the Olympics.
Well, let's talk about athletes qualifying for the Olympics. I know quite a few are still hoping to meet the Olympic qualifying standards. For example, our own Olayinka Olajide has qualified for the women's 4x400 meters event, but is still yet to make it to the individual 100 meters. So which athletes are you expecting, especially here in Nigeria, who could make a late push for the Olympics?
Well, Olayinka Olajide, like talking about the 100 meters, she hasn't still made it officially yet. The standards are pretty high from World Athletics. 11 seconds flat. She has an 11.1 from the MTN champs in Asaba, which obviously put her in contention to be part of the team that went for the 4x1 in the Bahamas, which is qualified for the relay. So she's qualified for the 4x1. But we have veterans like Patience Okon George, same Olayinka Olajide looking to qualify in the events, and a lot of other home-based stars who haven't competed at the MTN champs in Asaba, as well as in Calabar, did not make it. They'll be using this as an opportunity to also qualify. We have a couple of Iranians, about 7 of them, already in Lagos looking to qualify. Turkish contingents, Cameroonians, Togolese also looking to qualify for the Olympics. And most importantly, it's a challenger event. It's a D event, category D event. You've got the Diamond League, which is a category, the A status. Then you've got the gold, silver, bronze, and this is a challenger event. And for the 4th year, this is the first time a meet in West Africa will be getting to this level, right? So we've been making progress over the years, and because World Athletics has seen that it's an event that can help sport athletes in the West African region to qualify, we've gotten entries from some of these countries to also use it as a backdrop to qualify for the Olympics. The Olympics still, the qualifying window still lasts up until the last week of June, before it starts on the 26th of July. So hopefully we're able to see athletes use this as an opportunity to qualify for the games in Paris.
Well, just before I allow Wale to jump in, he's dying to ask you a question, but I just want to bring you back to something we were talking about just before we brought you on the show. We were talking about Nigeria's Olympic prospects and the fact that, it's 6 weeks to the Olympics, give or take a few days, and we're still talking about ministerial podium placement committees, winning an Olympic medal, bettering or equaling what we did in Atlanta '96. And Wale came out very clearly and said, of the entire Team Nigeria contingent that is going to the Olympics that have qualified right now, only Tobi Amusan stands out to him as a genuine medal prospect. Do you share this the same sentiments?
Yeah, absolutely right. Maybe Blessing Oborojudu, maybe, but Tobi Amusan, absolutely right. She's the number one or top three in our event in the women's 100 hurdles. She's the world record holder. We know what happened to her last year, that she couldn't defend her title. Mentally, she wasn't prepared for it, but she still got to the final. She defended her Diamond League title last year in Eugene. She's the fastest woman in the world in the event. 12:40. Well, Camacho Queen runs tomorrow here in Atlanta at the Edwin Moses meet, but we don't know the sort of time she'll run. But regardless, Tobi is in that shape, right? So no doubt she's showing. Brumer used to be a guaranteed medalist, but the wave of young long jumpers that are coming in now, you might not really put her in the mix. But then again, you can't rule out, they call her the championship lady. But also look at our relay team. I think I even have a strong...
Now you're talking, because I was actually thinking about the relay team. Sorry, Deji. Historically, we've won quite a few medals in the relays. I don't think this one should be any different.
So earlier today, I was discussing with someone about Nigeria's quality in depth compared to other nations, right, in the relays. So we look at our women's 4x1, for example. Just a couple of days ago, Rosemary Chukwuma ran a 10:88, right? There's a favor of Philly who was done a 10:7. There's also an Olayinka Olajide who was done an 11:1. There's Tima Gobles who just ran an 11:03 as a personal best. On paper, that team is enough to get a top three at the Olympics, behind the Americans and Jamaicans. We know it's beyond that. They've got Deji Aliwo's specialist when it comes to coaching the relays, and that's why you saw that 4 of our teams qualified in Bahamas. He joined the team in Ghana at the African Games. They won the big Ghana in the 4x1, and it was in Bahamas with them. So that's that new wave of new coaching trend, because that's also absolutely key. Because you look at the relays, you see the Japanese, you see the Chinese even getting to the finals, and you wonder why this guy's this good. Coaching is also very critical, right? You look at our men's 4x4. Samuel Ogazi also just ran a new personal best last weekend. There is Chidi Okezie, there is Dubem Amene, there is Emmanuel Ojeli, there is Dubem Nwachukwu, who's going to run tomorrow too. So these guys are 44 seconds runner and 45 seconds runner. So our men's 4x4, right, are also potentially could do something. Not also forgetting the men's 4x1. I still stand by it. The national trials this year, in the next couple of weeks, June 16th to be specific, has the most quality of depth, perhaps in our history of Nigerian running competing in the 100 meters.
Interesting.
9 guys have run sub 10. Well, 9 guys, about 3 of them have run sub 10 in that field. We've got Favor Ashe, who just as of 994. There is Gosim Brumer. There is Enoch Adigoke, who was run a 998. There is Usherishe Shekiri, who is the African Games champion, silver medalist, as well as the defending national champion. There is Sheye Ogunlewe. There is Collins Nakunagba. There is Consider Ekanem. There is Alaba Akintola. There is Udodi Onwuzurike. Like 9 guys properly could win the title. And if you could get the best out of them to run the 4x1, no doubt, we should obviously medal, because only the Americans have got this sort of quality and depth that we have, right? But then again, it's the synergy that matters. Can we pull together the team to ensure that they deliver the battle? Look at the way Gosim Brumer has been anchoring LSU to victory. Our biggest weak point has been that anchoring. The way the Ghanaians with Paul Amoa reeled in
Azamati,
talent in Bahamas, as well as almost reeled in or caught up with Shekiri at the African Games. Certainly, he's not going to do that if Gosim Brumer is on the anchor, right? Would have put up a decent lead, right? So I think working on that relay, and like I said, historically, because of our 26 Olympic medals, 27 Olympic medals in history, 13 have come from track and field. Of those 13, 7 have come from the relays, right? So it just tells you that this is where our strengths lie historically. So obviously, I understand Wale's point. Preparing for the Olympics is not a day's job. You literally will spend $50,000 per year for an athlete to train and get at the top level. Toby getting here has been a progress of about 8 to 9 years from when she went to the US in 2016 and eventually winning the world title and breaking the world record in 2022. So that's why she's in the mix. And obviously, it's not Nigeria that's perhaps funding that. They've got a contract with Adidas, training with some of the best coaches in the world, trains with Lassana Clark at alma mater in Texas, competing at some of the best meets, same thing with Ese Brume, training with one of the best long jump coaches in Kayode Yaya, right? Now that's Ophili potentially might not medal, maybe the relays, might not medal an individual, but trust me, I can give you guarantee that in Los Angeles, she's definitely going to be a medalist. Same thing with Udodi, because these guys are still in the opening phase of their professional careers, and you would not put them amongst the best within the world with Dodi and Ophili. But I could tell you that at the World Champs in Tokyo next year, Los Angeles in 2028, these guys will definitely join up Amuson to be some world beaters for Nigeria and potentially win gold medals for Nigeria.
Amen to that. Yeah, did you find? I think Wale has a question finally.
Yeah, I just wanted to take you back to the MOC, and I mean, earlier on you talked about the challenger status of the MOC Games, which is in its 4th edition.
The Grand Prix, the MOC Grand Prix.
Yeah, the MOC Grand Prix. And big shout out to the organizers led by Bamba Akoni. It's a great job. It reminds you of when we had the mobile track and field then, and MOC is bringing it back. But I wanted to ask, at what stage is World Athletics going to upgrade the MOC Grand Prix from challenger status to maybe the D status, and we can start talking about maybe in the near future Grand Prix, Grand Prix status, Diamond League status, I meant.
So we had actually applied for silver status for the Grand Prix. It's been in its 4th year. They gave it to us, but after deliberating, they said we should start with the challenger event. There are only 2 gold status events in Africa of this caliber. That's the Kipkeno Classic in Kenya that takes place in Nairobi every April, as well as the Gaborone Grand Prix. It didn't take place this year, right? And then a couple of silver events in Senegal, in Cameroon,
Marrakesh.
And then the Grand Prix definitely is the front bearer for Nigeria. But obviously, the plan is consistency. With this event, ranking points matters. The caliber of athletes that come in, international athletes that come in to compete, is also important. How we deliver the results, our partnership with the AFN. And so they look at some of these things, right? The quality of the results too. So this is how they judge competitions. And the ranking are up there. You could go and check it on World Athletics website. So based on the results, they do their rankings every single year, and we upgrade to the status, right? So the challenger meet, we didn't have any status before, but at this 4th leg now, it's the challenger meet. Hopefully we want to get to a silver status. That's where it even comes to some grants from World Athletics to be able to get or ensure that we pay these international athletes. Obviously the top is the Diamond League, and there are no entries for that, really. There are just 14 in the year, and they've already been given out. Africa only has 1 in Rabat. It took place in Marrakesh a couple of weeks ago. So that might be a tall order, similar to the gold label, not the gold label, the platinum label for marathons. There are just 6 in the world. So no matter how good you are, they've already selected those 6 already. So we've got Lagos Marathon, for example. The best they can reach is the gold status at this point. Potentially, they consider it over time, and they say Africa needs a marathon platinum race. Maybe they will consider that. But for now, we're looking at getting to the gold level at least before the 6th or 7th Grand Prix. And this challenger gives us that opportunity to improve on our ranking points in terms of the quality of the competition we churn out tomorrow and on Saturday, sorry.
Finally, before we let you go, when does this start? How is it going to take place? And what can fans expect to see at the Yabatech?
So we've got the field events, primarily the Churros tomorrow at the Yabatech Stadium in the evening, just for about an hour. Then the main event, the main course on Saturday for morning and afternoon session, where you get the delight of seeing all the sprint races and some of the athletes compete. And it runs through the morning session, like I said, and the evening session, about 3 hours thereabouts in the evening. You get the final of all these events. Okay,
so all the foreign athletes, we can expect to see them compete Friday and Saturday, especially on Saturday as well. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll be speaking to Deji Ogegbo, who is the country manager of Making of Champions, who are organizing the 4th MOC Grand Prix here in Lagos. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Deji. And, well, thank you for, do I say, agreeing with Wale somewhat. It's unfortunate. I was hoping that you'd probably tell us. But, yeah, I think you even actually put a bigger shine on it, saying that there's a possibility we can actually win medals in the relays, apart from...
and he put some historical perspective, which I definitely agree with.
Okay, thank you very much, Deji. We'll be talking to you later on in, the next coming days. Thank you.